Hey everyone, Nina here. The new season of Marvel Snap is here, so usually I'll be making a video on the new season pass card right now, but I decided to go in a different direction. Bear with me, I'm going to try not to ramble too much and to convey my thoughts in a way that makes sense, but I've been thinking a lot about Marvel Snap and how I want to proceed with my content in the last few months. To be honest, I haven't been super happy with the direction Snap is going in for a while now, not just the aggressive monetization, but the direction the game is going to as well. For me, it all started with the Loki season in September 2023. If you guys played then, you remember how completely dominating Loki was. It was not a fun card to play against, everyone was playing Loki in mirrors, and the outcome of the match was completely dependent on whether you managed to play Loki early enough and what cards you got from him. I feel like that's when the RNG cards were unleashed, and since then we've had quite a few cards like that, most notably Arishem. I know Arishem has his fans, but for me it's the deck I hate playing against the most, and whenever Arishem is popular in the meta, I find myself not enjoying the game as much. As much as I was frustrated with cards like that, I still enjoyed playing the game, and it definitely wasn't enough to make me stop playing. It was just like the first straw on the camel's back, if that's a saying, probably not. Since then, there have been so many times that Second Dinner has disappointed me, not just as a content creator, but as a player who loves the game. Snap was originally marketed as a game where you can't buy cards, and up until quite recently, they still ran those ads. I don't think that's been true for a very long time, if ever at all. Snap was just very good at hiding the ways it got you to spend money to get your cards. Whether it's buying credits to split your cards to progress on the collection track and get your cards faster, or buying missions with gold so you can get more credits to progress the collection track. Then you have the bundles ranging from $5 to $100 that have currency like credits, gold, variants, aka actual cards, since once you own a variant, you can just play it as if you own the base card. This was before the change was made where if you get the variant, you also get the base card. And now more and more often we're getting bundles with collector's tokens in them, aka the currency you need to buy cards. And for a while, people had personalized bundles. Because I had a pretty much complete collection, I didn't get offered these bundles, but I've seen people post screenshots of them, and people were just outright being offered to buy not great cards, like cards like Cobra for like $50 or something like that. So buying cards was always a thing in Snap, and their marketing always seemed quite dishonest to me. Now of course they have backpedaled, and that ad is nowhere to be seen. Now you can easily buy all the new cards you want by straight up exchanging gold for collector's tokens. See, there's another layer there still. You can't just buy collector's tokens with money, you can only buy it with gold, unless it's part of a bundle. You have to buy an in-game gold and then exchange that gold for tokens. So it's harder to tell how much you actually spend on the card. I mean, this is all pretty standard for free-to-play mobile games, have a million different currencies and confuse the player with the actual cost of cards. So Snap is not doing anything new or anything particularly nefarious. The thing that really angered the community was the way Kid Omega was released, and especially how the backlash was dealt with. I always felt like Second Dinner was open to community feedback. If they went too far, the community would let them know, and they would usually evaluate the situation and try to agree on a middle ground. Sometimes they would surprise us even with their generosity. When the whole community rebelled against the Nexus events, Second Dinner actually listened and axed them completely. When the game was banned in the US for a few days because of the TikTok publisher being banned, the whole world got super generous rewards. So when Kid Omega was released in high voltage overdrive, a limited time game mode, and people saw how much it actually cost to get him, players were really confused. People were sure there's been some kind of mistake. There's like a zero was added there by accident to the cost of Kid Omega. The amount of volts you needed, aka 50,000 volts, was absolutely ridiculous. Someone did the maths, and even if you did every single mission, you would have gotten 33,000 volts, which meant you still had to make up for the rest, and you only got 20 volts for winning one game, which meant you had to win at least 850 games on top of doing the missions in order to get the card for free. I mean, they did give us some votes for free, like I think 500 per day and 1,000 votes for the last day. It did help a little bit, but we still had to win something like 600 games in order to get Kid Omega completely for free. In short, it was pretty much impossible to get Kid Omega for free unless you made Marvel Snap your career, basically, for those 10 days. Of course, you could get the card easily by simply swiping your credit card. I can't remember the exact maths, but I think it cost something like $100 to buy Kid Omega without any votes. $100 for a single card. If that's something you can easily afford and are happy to pay, I mean, good for you. But for most people, including myself, I don't think it's something that's sustainable in the long run. I really can't afford to spend $100 on a single card, plus the season pass, plus the super premium season pass, which we'll get to in a bit, plus another bundle here and there just to keep up with my collection. There was quite a big outrage about the whole situation in the Snap Discord and on other social media websites. I remember seeing numerous Reddit and Twitter posts about it, and I posted one myself, I think. And because of how things usually happen in the past, I expected Second Dinner to meet us in the middle and possibly reduce the cost a bit, maybe offer compensation, or at least explain what happened there. Looking back on it, High Voltage started on Monday, 16th of June, and we did not hear anything from the dev team until Friday afternoon. And the response was basically, yes, Kid Omega is supposed to cost that much, you aren't supposed to get him for free, you're supposed to get a discount for the card, and we didn't manage expectations well and we'll do better in the future. This alone makes it sound like the Kid Omega situation is going to be the standard, aka you will not be able to easily get the new cards from limited time game modes without spending some money, and that's just the way it's going to be. Fine, I mean, maybe we become too entitled as players to expect to earn cards too easily by simply playing the game. I knew it was too good to be true to be able to earn Gorgon, Luffy, and Uncle Ben super easily by simply playing Sanctum Showdown. I do understand the need to make money from these limited time game modes in order to justify releasing them at all. I just really don't like how aggressively they're trying to monetize almost every single aspect of the game. And that brings me to the straw that broke the camel's back. Right after the Kid Omega incident, we got the new super premium season pass. I have always bought the season pass, and I've always said it's the best value thing you can spend on in-game. I started playing in November 2022, so my first ever season pass was Black Panther, and since then I have not missed a single pass. I was happy to pay £10 per month to support a game that brought me joy and helped me create content. And at first, I didn't think too much about the super premium season pass. I mean, it's only an extra £10 and I get another card to play with and to make content with, but the more I thought about it, the more uncomfortable it made me. I'm sure most of you know this, but Marvel Snap used to be published by Nuverse, a gaming brand owned by ByteDance. ByteDance also owns TikTok, and that's why Snap was hit during the TikTok ban. Since then, Second Dinner started publishing Marvel Snap themselves. They've been doing it for the last few months, and I know the community was actually really excited about it. A lot of players thought that aggressive monetization was actually pushed by Nuverse, so Second Dinner self-publishing the game would mean a more generous system. Well, we were very much mistaken. If anything, since moving to self-publishing, Snap has become increasingly more and more aggressive with the monetization. Kid Omega, the super premium season pass, even these pop-up bundles you get every time you log into the game. I remember we used to have one bundle a week, but nowadays I can't even keep up with them. I feel like we're getting like 10 bundles every single week. And it didn't help that the card that was locked behind the super premium season pass was actually a very strong card, making the pay-to-win allegations very hard to beat. I'll admit I did buy the super premium season pass last month and I regretted it ever since. I didn't make any content covering Fantastica and didn't have it in any of my decks. I didn't want people to have FOMO and feel like they have to spend money to get a card. But I really shouldn't have bought it at all, since I don't agree with hiding another card behind a paywall. So I'm going to vote with my wallet going forward. I will not be spending any more money on Marvel Snap unless we get a drastic change in the way the game is monetized. That means no season pass, no premium season pass, no bundles, not buying gold, nothing. I think seeing the new Silver Surfer first steps being the super premium season pass card really solidified my decision. That card looks super broken, and to hide it behind a premium paywall, I feel like it's just a sign of things to come, and they don't look good from where I'm standing. So yep, I'm going free to play as a desperate act to try and save the game. And yes, I do feel like I'm doing this for the health of the game. I'm sure players who are in active alliances have noticed, but players are actively quitting the game, and I'm pretty sure most of it is because of the aggressive monetization. My alliance has always been super active and we always hit the maximum goal, but every week I notice 2 or 3 players who have not touched the game at all, and I've seen similar reports from other alliances as well. So we're losing players, which might have been fine if if we had a lot of new players and returning players joining the game, but we don't. New players find the card acquisition system daunting and they find it impossible to catch up to existing players. Yes, they face players of similar collection level pre-infinite, well, probably mostly bots, but post-infinite, it's basically a slaughterhouse. You can face anyone of any collection level. I'm pretty sure I faced players who are only collection level 2000 and so, and my collection level is close to 40,000. There is no catch-up mechanic for returning players, so once we lose players, they're usually gone forever. Take a look at the Steam stats for Snap and the numbers look pretty grim. In July last year, we had a peak of over 11,000 players and an average around 4,500. This July, a peak of just over 5,000 and an average of 2,390 players. I think if we keep going in the direction we're going in now, the game is just going to slowly die off. Because there are less players to spend money in-game, Second Dinner will need to become even more aggressive with their monetization in order to keep up with the same amount of revenue, which means more players will be driven to quit the game and the cycle will repeat itself. And that honestly breaks my heart because I love the game, I think Marvel Snap gameplay is brilliant and there's no other game like it. The Snap community is unlike any other gaming community I've been a part of. It's been welcoming to me from the beginning and it's so passionate about the game. So yeah, I guess I'm making a stand now. I'm not going to spend another pound on the game until we have some major changes to monetization. It's probably not going to make a difference at all. I've long given up on my opinions being taken seriously by the devs. I used to send my opinions in the creator Discord all the time, but I don't bother anymore. I feel like I was just talking into the void most of the time. But honestly, I don't know what to do at this point. I look at games like Marvel Rivals or TFT who only monetize with cosmetics and I think, why can't we have this with Snap? Why can't we give all the cards out for free and monetize the cosmetics? I know people spend tons on cosmetics in the game, including myself, the variants, the emotes, the borders, and I guess even avatars, although I've never bought an avatar myself. We can even get new types of cosmetics, think pets or game boards. There are so many possibilities and I honestly don't mind if they're being super aggressive with the cosmetics monetization. It doesn't affect the gameplay at all. And if every card was free, we would attract a ton of new players and I'm sure a lot of players would return to the game as well. And more players means more people to spend money on cosmetics. I mean, it works for other games, why can't it work for Snap? Maybe I'm just being naive here. I mean, if you know why the game can't survive on cosmetics alone, let me know in the comments. I'm genuinely interested. So I actually wrote the script for this video, but I forgot to mention one thing, and it's bots in Marvel Snap. The bots in Marvel Snap have always been something that really annoyed me. Once you get to like rank 70 and above, you start facing these cheating bots. Well, there used to be cheating bots, and I made a whole video on cheating bots, but I think those bots have been removed and now we have a new type of bots and they are like hard bots, right? They no longer see your plays before they make their plays, so the devs are saying they're no longer cheating bots, but they cheat in other ways. First of all, they play top meta decks. They played like the newest cards, they play really good decks and they play them really well. That's not a problem. I don't have an issue with that. The issue I have is bots knowing the RNG outcome of things. Like, if they play Jubilee, they know what card the Jubilee is going to pull from the deck. If they change a location, they know what the new location is going to be. If they play a card into Danger Zone, they know whether it's going to be destroyed or not. So, how is that not a cheating bot? These bots know the outcome of really important RNG elements. So, I feel like to call them not cheating anymore is still disingenuous because we as players don't know the outcome of RNG and I feel like the bots shouldn't either. You used to be able to tell really easily when you're playing against the bot. I think something was messed up and every time you played against the bot, they would have the exact same collection level as you, which was really easy for me to like distinguish bots from players since my collection level was so high. I rarely faced anyone with that higher collection level. So whenever I played against the bot, I would always know. But apparently that was not to be intended. Second Dinner put so much effort into trying to hide bots. They try to conceal bots to make people believe they're playing against actual players. And I feel like unless you're a content creator or you've been playing this game for a very long time and you play the game constantly, it's almost impossible now to tell whether you're playing against one of those harder bots or not. And that's another thing that kind of like grinds my gears. It's like, why are you putting so much effort into hiding the bots? So people would think they're playing against humans. Is the player base decreasing that much that you have to introduce these bots? I just don't understand. And we still have so many bugs that haven't been fixed, but yet we're putting all this effort into making bots seem like human. So yeah, my content going forward will look a bit differently. I'll cover the new cards from snap packs, the ones I can get with collector's tokens, and I'll also cover season pass cards once they become available in snap packs. I still have a lot of collector's tokens, I think around 76,000 to be precise, so I'm going to use those to get the cards, but once I run out, I might have to evaluate my options again. I don't want to quit Snap. I love the game and I love the community, but I just can't keep supporting the game the way it's going. I'm sorry to be a downer here. It's all been building up for a while now, and I had to try and say something. Hope you enjoyed the gameplay while I was yapping. I tried to showcase some of the new snap pack cards we got today. 3 cards to be precise. At this rate, I'm going to run out of tokens probably next month. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. And yeah, I guess like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.